What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. So every year I buy the latest and greatest iPhone, and this year I bought the iPhone XS Max and I try to switch to that iPhone from my current Android device. And this year I'm trying to switch from my Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Now if you've seen my review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, you know that this is the best Android device that I ever tried. So this iPhone has to be exceptionally good to make me switch. So in today's video we are going to be talking about my experience switching from my Note 9 to the iPhone XS Max. So the first thing that made me want to switch was the bigger screen on the iPhone XS Max and the smaller phone, because this is a smaller phone with a bigger screen and everybody wants that. So with this phone we get a 6.5-inch screen, where with the Note 9 we get a 6.4-inch screen. Now on the iPhone XS Max the screen resolution is 1242 by 2688, where the screen resolution on the Note 9 it's 1440 by 2960. So with the Note 9 we get a better resolution. Now for writing messages, checking your email, checking your Facebook feed, you're not gonna notice any difference. The screens look just as good on both devices. But there is one place where it actually bothers me having this screen and this resolution on the iPhone, and that's the YouTube app. So for the YouTube app, the maximum resolution that you can select on this new iPhone is 1080p, where with the Note 9 you can select 1440. Now we've all seen those articles that say that the human eye cannot see more than I don't know how many pixels per inch or whatever, but I can definitely tell you that if I watch a video in 1440 on my Note 9 and a video in 1080p on this iPhone, there is a big difference. So having such a big screen and not being able to watch videos at a higher resolution, it's kind of a shame. Leaving the resolution aside, if you're watching a YouTube video on this iPhone and you decide to zoom in that video so you can take full advantage of the screen, well, you cannot take full advantage of the screen because you have the notch, so the notch kind of cuts in your video. If you do the same thing on the Note 9, you can actually watch that video on the entire screen. So the implementation of the notch isn't that great for the YouTube app on this new iPhone. But it's not all bad. So this iPhone has something that makes the viewing experience a bit better, and those are the better speakers. So even though the speakers on both devices get equally loud, I feel that the speakers on this new iPhone sound a bit better. But unfortunately you cannot listen to those speakers everywhere because sometimes you need to use some headphones. Now with the Note 9 we have a 3.5mm audio jack, and with this iPhone we don't even get an adapter in the box. So you're gonna have to use some Bluetooth headphones or buy yourself an adapter, and that's not great either because the phone is very expensive as it is. Moving on to the home screen. So this iPhone it's using the exact same home screen that we used to have 10-12 years ago, the first iPhone. So you cannot arrange those icons as you wish. So you cannot have like 4 icons at the bottom of the screen and 3 icons at the top. All the apps have to be all the way at the top. And this is a big screen. I mean, it's a 6.5-inch screen. It's not going to be that easy to reach all the way at the top. And a lot of people are going to say, but wait, you can just pull down the screen and bring those apps down. Yes, you can do that, but that's an extra step that I don't want to do. So this brand new iPhone that has a 6.5-inch screen, you just have to have an absolute mess on the home screen. You have to have like 30 apps on the home screen. You just can't have like 4 at the bottom and that's it. So this must be the stupidest thing that Apple does with this iOS. But let's leave that home screen aside and move on. So we have a 6.5-inch screen and we have one of the most powerful CPUs for any mobile device, because this phone is definitely faster and more powerful than my Note 9. So with this phone we cannot use 2 apps at the same time, even though we have such a massive screen. So you have to use one app, then you have to use the other app. You cannot use 2 apps at the same time. And it doesn't make any sense because the phone is powerful enough to use even 3 apps at the same time. So that's another missed opportunity that could have been better on iOS than on Android. But no, Apple decided not to include that. And some people will be like, but who needs to use 2 apps at the same time? Well, I do, because I always have my email at the top, the browser at the bottom, and I can just copy from one app to the other one. So it makes it so much easier, and that's a very important productivity tool for a lot of people, and it could have definitely been done on this iPhone because, as I said, this iPhone is powerful enough. Alright, next we are moving on to the keyboard on this new iPhone, and this is basically the same keyboard that we had 12 years ago. So on any Android device you can customize the keyboard and you can even install other keyboards. And yes, you can install other keyboards on this iPhone as well, but the functionality is nowhere as good on this iPhone as it is on my Android device. So first things first, you cannot add a number row to the iPhone keyboard. It's impossible. Secondly, you cannot have shortcuts built in that keyboard, which again, it's stupid and time consuming. So every time you want to switch in between letters and numbers on the iPhone, you have to press a button, then press that button again. Or with any Android device, you can just hold the button pressed and have a number there. But hold on, it's not all bad. There are some things that this iPhone does better than my Note 9. So first of all, the battery life on this iPhone is way better than the battery life on my Note 9. And I thought that my Note 9 gets pretty good battery life, but with this one it's much better. The next thing that's better on this iPhone is the Face ID. So if you compare the Face ID on this iPhone with the Face ID on the Note 9, well, there is no comparison. The face unlocking from the iPhone is just so much better. But again, with the Note 9 we have a fingerprint scanner on the back, and some people may prefer the fingerprint scanner over the Face ID. So it really depends how you're used to, but for Face ID the iPhone does a better job, but at least with the Note 9 we get that fingerprint scanner. Next we have Airdrop, and that's important if you have an iPhone and a Mac, and I have a Mac as well. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, but no, Android has all these apps. No, there is nothing as good as Airdrop. You have a file or a picture or whatever on your iPhone, then you can have it on your Mac within seconds. The same, if you have something on your Mac, it can be on your iPhone within seconds. And it's just not as easy to move files in between Android and a Mac. So no matter how you want to put it, it's so much better, and I wish there would be something like Airdrop for Android because, yes, as I said, this is so much better. Another thing that I find better on the iPhone are the front and rear cameras when compared to the Note 9. So for the front-facing camera, the iPhone is so much better, only if you have a lot of light. If you don't have enough light, I think that the Note 9 does a better job. But overall, the front-facing camera is so much better on this iPhone compared to the Note 9. And I've actually done a comparison video between these two, and you can check that one out if you want to see more examples. Moving on to the rear cameras on this iPhone are also a bit better than the rear cameras on the Note 9. And once again, you can check that video that I mentioned earlier. Now, for video recording, I still feel that the Note 9 does a better job, but overall I think this new iPhone gets better cameras than the Note 9. But wait till you see how useless the camera app on this new iPhone is. Well, this is the same camera app that we've had for many years, and unfortunately you cannot change anything from the camera app. So if you want to change the resolution for a video recording, you have to leave the camera app, you have to go into the settings app, look for the camera app in the settings app, change that, and then go back to the camera app, which is so stupid. Now, for manual mode, I don't really care. I mean, we have a manual mode on the Note 9, but realistically not that many people use that manual mode, so I'm not even gonna mention that. But changing settings for the camera app from the settings app of the phone is just plain stupid. Moving on to notifications. Well, if you look at my iPhone right now, you cannot really tell if I have any new notifications or not. Sure, you can see those numbers by the icons there, but you don't know if you have any new notifications or if those are old. And the only way to see if you have notifications is to pull down the screen. Now on Android, at least you get to see the notifications at the top there, and yes, the notifications are improved on iOS 12 because last year it was an absolute mess. You had like 100 something notifications when in reality you should have like 3, and that has been improved on iOS 12, but still we can see what notifications we have, and that definitely needs to be improved as well. And believe it or not, I'm not done complaining about this new iPhone. So with any Android device we have 3 buttons. We have the home button, the multitasking button, and the return key. And some Android devices are using gestures, but the gestures don't usually work that well. Well, the gestures on the iPhone work really good, but they only work really good for certain apps. So if you start using more apps, you're gonna notice that the back gesture doesn't work for all apps, and for some apps it works and for some it doesn't. And for example, the DJI Go app, if you want to go back, you have to press the back button all the way at the top, which doesn't make any sense because any new app that you open, you have to guess if the back gesture is gonna work or not. Oh, and there is one more thing. You cannot choose default apps with iOS 12. So this has been the same for 12 years now or so. So if you use Chrome, because well, you use Chrome, Safari is going to open for certain apps by itself, so you cannot select which browser to be used, and it's the same for a lot of other apps. So that has to change as well, because it's very annoying to have 2 browsers, and for certain apps one browser opens and for other ones Chrome opens and so on. So a big mess if you ask me. And it's time to conclude this video. So I love the way this phone looks, I love the way it feels, I love the speakers, I love the cameras, I love a lot of things about this phone, but iOS 12 is just so annoying to use, and that's gonna be the reason why I'm not gonna keep this phone. I'll probably return it because it's impossible to use with all those things that I mentioned. When I have the Note 9, it's just impossible to use. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.